Is this legitimate? Are some of these opposition parties neutralizing the Hamas's genocide? Viewers, these are fundamental questions. And I want to bring in first and foremost George Kurian, who represents today the opposition point of view on this issue. He represents the Congress point of view on this issue, perhaps also sympathizes with the left point of view on the issue, and I have brought those issues out, viewers, for you, what their stand is very clearly. Now, Mr. Kurian, fundamental question to you. How can Israel's fight back, its right of self-defense, be called genocidal? Can you please explain this to our viewers, Mr. Kurian?
Rahul, a very good evening to you, to my co-panelists on the show, and to your audience. Let me begin by saying that, the Congress party here, I second the statement which has come from the communication in charge of Congress party, Mr. Jairam Ramesh here. Let me say that, you have called the Congress party saying it has villainized the Israeli attempt to defend itself, so which is untrue and not correct as far as the war is going on at this point in time. Let me begin by saying that Israel's action and attack on Palestinian citizens, especially the civilians, the women and the children, are condemnable, and it's nothing short of genocidal. The why it shouldn't be called genocidal is because it's a deliberate attempt made by Israel to without following the norms of the war and the UN Charter. It goes against the human rights and humanity here. And we are seeing the visuals coming from Al Shifa Hospital. We also have learned that the humanitarian aid has been stopped. The medicines, be it food, water, power, this goes without saying that it's an deliberate attempt made, and goes without saying that it's a genocidal attempt.
It's a genocidal attempt. You're using big words, but you haven't given one illustrative point. How is this a violation of international law? Can you explain? Right to self-defense.
In the name of self-defense, and in the name of self-defense, Israel is attacking the Palestinian land area, and Prime Minister Netanyahu has himself said that he wants to see Palestine and the Gaza Strip made it into a rubble. So it goes without saying the intent is very clear. The Israeli intent is very clear.
No, hang on. Now, viewers, here are some facts that I need to place. Okay.
America and European Union are also with Israel.
Okay, they're all with Israel, they're all genocidal, they're all abetting in ethnic cleansing. Okay, now I just want to say a few things, viewers. Look, I'm quoting out of the New York Times, that is Bible for some opposition parties in our country. Whatever is written in the New York Times, viewers, is the truth, is the gospel for them, as I have said to you. Now, let me read out what it says about targeting of hospitals, etc. How international law views military action at a hospital. This is a New York Times article. You can Google it and take it out. So sure, of course, viewers, Geneva Convention and international law say that you cannot target hospitals. But there are some exceptions. Yes, viewers, hospitals have special protections under international humanitarian law. It is illegal in nearly all circumstances to attack hospitals, ambulances, or other medical facilities, or to interfere with their ability to provide care for the wounded and sick. But there is an exception under which hospitals lose that protection. And I don't want to waste anyone's time. I'm going to pull out visuals from Al Shifa Hospital as I read this part out, viewers, from the New York Times report. So we're going to show you those visuals. What are the IDF finding there? They're finding weapons. Now, quote this article, there is an exception under which hospitals lose that protection. A hospital or medical facility can lose its special legal status if it is used for a military purpose that is, quote, harmful to the enemy, unquote, rather than just for medical care. For example, if an armed group uses a hospital building as a headquarters, it cannot use the special hospital protection as a shield for that military operation. The exception is supposedly to be read narrowly according to the Red Cross, which is considered a leading authority on the interpretation of humanitarian law. If there is doubt about whether a hospital is being used for military purposes, it should be presumed not to be, the Red Cross says. So give it benefit of doubt. But look at these pictures, viewers, from the Al Shifa Hospital. Racks on racks of military equipment, even the MRI facility, the MRI room, viewers, the MRI machine presumably hasn't been used, but there are bags of weapons lying there. It's all there, viewers, it's there. Those pictures are there. They speak the truth. You know that pictures paint 1,000 words. There they are, those words. And let me also tell you, viewers, and this is very important, on November 16th, Israel has complied with every compliance. Israeli Air Force dropped leaflets overnight on Thursday in eastern areas of Khan Yunis in the south of Gaza Strip, telling people to evacuate to shelters for their own safety, suggesting imminent military operations. October 13th, Israel's military is telling 1.1 million people in northern Gaza to evacuate their homes immediately as it appears to prepare to ramp up retaliation for Hamas' October 7 terror attack. This is before the Israeli military went into Gaza. October 9th, Israel's army said it aims to evacuate all Israelis living close to the Gaza Strip within 24 hours. It deployed tens of thousands of soldiers to fight Palestinian militants who infiltrated into Israel. During the course of IDF's precise and targeted operations against Israel against Hamas in the Shifa hospital, the IDF took all feasible measures in order to mitigate the impact on patients and the staff there. As part of these efforts and following ongoing collaboration with hospital authorities, IDF tanks brought incubators, baby food, medical supplies and delivered them to hospital. What are you recovering there? You're recovering full medical kits. So there are no shortages in this hospital of any of this. Nonetheless, I've just set the stage. I've set the facts because that's my job. I want to bring in Sanju Verma, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Dr. Ranganathan together on this. First to you, Ms. Verma, and it's an important point. Today, the Congress has written a huge letter, a very long one, painstakingly suggesting that people who are also siding with this ethnic cleansing are equally culpable. It could be said that being allies of Israel, the Modi government is equally culpable. And it is calling upon the Modi government to ask for a ceasefire. Should the Modi government ask for an immediate ceasefire, ma'am?
Rahul, please bear with me. You've laid out the facts on the table for our consumption. And for the better of it, there are a few moot points that I need to put forth to your audience. Point number one. We all know that what happened on the 7th of October was an unprovoked attack on Israel by the Hamas. Unprovoked. Whether 5,000 or 7,000 rockets were launched is besides the point. Whether 1,400 people were killed, hundreds of women and elderly, disabled men raped, mutilated, victimized, persecuted, 40 babies decapitated. All that is out in the public domain. In war, it is not that Israel has seen 1,400 people being killed, but Gaza has seen more than 7,000 or 8,000 or even 10,000 people being killed. So there is no sense of proportion. When there is a war, a sense of proportion is something that is never quite, something that pans out in the manner that you and me as civilians understand. Point number one. Point number two. Very quickly, I just want to say this. This has been discussed on your channel and on a zillion debates that I've done as well. Ever since Israel came into existence as a full-fledged state as we know it in 1948, be it, the attack in 1948, 49, 1952, 1967, 1973, 1982 or 2006, the big Arab-Israeli wars, the aggressor has never been Israel. The aggression or the oppression has always been from the other side. Point number two. Point number three, it is Hamas which first decided to not agree to international conventions when it decided to not follow the Oslo Peace Accord of 1993 and 1995, and before that, you had the Camp David Agreement of 1967. So the pro-Hamas group today and this entire ecosystem which is saying, oh, Geneva Convention of 1949, why has that not been complied with? Oh, why has the NATO Convention of 1949 not been complied with? If you ask this pro-Hamas cabal, did Hamas ever comply with the Camp David Agreement of 1967? They will say, "Arey, हमको तो पता नहीं, ठीक है, हो जाता है." Did Hamas comply with the Oslo Accords? No, they did not, but so what? And my fourth point, wait Rahul, please. I can see your hand going up, but I need 30 seconds more. The most important point is this. From 1948 to 1967, for about 19 years,